Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Nerd Topic. You know, we all have a subject or a hobby that we get extra nerdy about. Well, I want to know what it is, and I want to talk about it. Tonight, our topic is movie theaters versus streaming services. The entire experience. What do you like better, and what's the future of streaming versus the future of movies, and this and that, and what's going to take over, and which movie theaters are going to die, and which streaming services are going to conquer, all that kind of stuff. We're here with my distinguished panel of movie files, cinephiles, also film industry people. We have Rob Riley Reilly. Yeah. And we have Chris, the informant Marabella. What's up, Chris?
Hold on.
Thanks for being here, guys. It's been a minute since we've had this trio on, so this is going to be a nice little energy.
Yeah, definitely.
The last show, nice. The last show I did had 5 people, and it was cool, but I always felt like I was ignoring somebody, or like somebody was just kind of like.
Yeah, we have that many. It just
we're waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Pacing and shit, Yeah, 3 might be a better idea for a few of these. So cool, yeah. As far as like movies go, we're all movie heads. I know that just from knowing you guys and knowing that you're in the film industry. But I even feel like if you guys weren't in the film industry, you'd still be watching 1,000 movies, and just following everything.
Yeah.
I love the movie theater experience, and I'm missing it big time. But it's weird because simultaneously there hasn't been a movie that has come out that I'm really itching to see in the theater. Have you guys gone? Has anybody gone? Like Rob, have you gone to the movie to see anything?
No, actually, like that movie experience. I'm kind of not missing it. I've been kind of set up for the past few years, wanting the movies to come to the home. So now that that's happening, I'm in heaven. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
I can sit on the couch, I can scratch my butt, I can pause it and don't miss a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so I'm technically in heaven. I don't miss the experience. Don't miss the overpriced popcorn and shit.
Well, that's the truth.
I don't miss the gum under the seat. I don't miss the smell. I don't miss it. I'm okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
The people texting throughout the movies.
Oh my God. See all those weird blue screens popping up with little phones.
I know.
Guys, big ass tablet. You're like, would you turn that shit off?
Yeah. Blinded. Mm-hmm. How about you, Chris? You missing it?
I am missing it, to be honest. I went once over the summer. I think it was July, when amidst the pandemic, it was a little bit safer at that time, and I went with my buddy. To see Nightmare Before Christmas. I never really saw the entirety of it, so I wanted to see it on the big screen. Other than that, I've been doing drive-ins and stuff. I haven't really tried them before last year.
Yeah.
So that's been a fun experience. It's kind of substituted for the lack of theater experience for me, just because it's a big screen. You get to go with people that you're safe with.
Right.
But I definitely am itching to go back, but kind of like Rob, there's only been probably a handful that I would want to see in a theater anyway. But I have a feeling, at least I hope, later on this year and next year, there's going to be a lot probably that will be deserving of the theatrical experience.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if things are better by then we'll all want to go back and see it.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of the drive-in, a buddy of mine sent me a picture of like his, from his point of view in the car with the car windshield and then the theater, and I knew what it was immediately. I was just like jealous immediately. He went to see John Carpenter's The Thing. Oh no, wait, John. No, I'm sorry. Rewind that. He went to see. What the hell was it? It was so good that I forgot what the hell. Escape from New York. He went to see Escape.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Also
cool.
John Carpenter. So understand.
Yeah, right.
But he said it had the 35mm grain on it and everything like that. And I was
nice,
like,
nice.
I'd be down with that.
Yeah, like I saw Tenet at a drive-in, and even on a drive-in screen, it looked amazing because it's still a big screen, and that's the type of film I feel like that would be compromised seeing at home.
Yeah.
Now, that one I actually watched Tenet at home, and you do get a sense that you're missing something as you're watching it.
Yeah.
And from home, but I don't know, man. It did feel like I was missing something.
Because Nolan is that type of filmmaker. Maybe he's one of the rare ones that makes the type of films that you have to see, on the largest screen possible. He films in IMAX. He has such an epic scale of storytelling. His action is insane.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping for more films like that later this year and hopefully next year.
Yeah. Does anybody, so like the newest thing I've been trying to track, and it seems like in general, movies, get pushed back. Black
Yeah.
Widow got pushed back.
Oh
then
God, do they get pushed back? Oh.
Black Widow is the whole not the cream of the crop or the highest the
I
winner.
know.
Don't get me started on that. I don't even want to see it now because it's been pushed back so damn much.
I know. They should have put it out last year on like
just drop it.
Yeah.
But oddly enough, the Snake Eyes movie got pushed forward.
Pushed forward, yeah.
Yeah, from like I don't know if it was September, October to July. So
yeah.
Part of me thinks there was a little battle between like the hot spot, like movie production companies, distributors fight for that like 4th of July weekend, Christmas Day, all that shit. I even did it in the movie phone voice, Christmas Day.
Yeah. What I also think that part of that is Paramount is also trying to build their own service of Paramount Plus, and Snake Eyes is Hasbro, which is owned by Paramount. And so I know they shortened their theatrical window, I think to 45 days or something like that. So
okay.
I think that's part of their model now. They're going to try have these films even this year only be in theaters for 3-4 weeks and then go to their streaming services.
See, that's why Chris the Informant.
The Informant.
Yeah, that's why you bring me on.
That's right, man. You go deeper. Listen, if you go deeper than me in your research, you are not doing much work because I don't go deep. I get the first Twitter thing, whatever went viral that day. Black Widow delayed again. I'm like, oh wow.
Doesn't even click it to read it. He just reads like this.
I feel like I'm living in Twilight Zone because you never hear about Marvel films being delayed or pushed back.
Right.
That's like 4 Marvel films this year are all like some of them supposed to come out last year. Now they're all coming out this year.
Yeah. So, I guess it's safer than ever, or it's becoming safer than ever for people to be around each other. And it seems like, the death rate of COVID's going down. We'll see what the summer holds for everybody. That could just turn into a whole thing where people don't know how to act.
Shit show,
yeah. But with that in mind, do you guys think Spider-Man 3 will release because like Black Widow gets kicked back and then whatever movie was supposed to release after gets kicked back and they all just get kicked back, Shang-Chi and the Doctor Strange or whatever that slate is, Eternals. I have a feeling like I'm just like Spider-Man's the only one I'm waiting for, and that thing is not dropping in December. Rob, you think it's coming out in December, or is it going to get COVID kicked back?
That sounds like a bad reunion, like a COVID kickback. And everybody drinking Corona. Anyway, all right, okay. Back on topic.
Yep.
I have no faith in Spider-Man coming out in December. I'm sorry, I just have no faith in it. Like
really,
with the it's just like all of the movies that I'm anticipating, they all get pushed back. Black Widow, I was anticipating, pushed back. Ghostbusters, anticipating.
Yeah, right. Back. I was really excited.
Spider-Man, push back. I don't see it coming in December. That's just my luck. So if it doesn't happen, guys, blame me. It's me.
Hey, Rob.
What the hell?
Blow my phone up. It's me.
Rob. We're doing a live stream. That'll be the first time live. YouTube live. Everybody, this is a very important issue.
All just yelling at Rob, yeah.
We're calling Rob right now. Blow up the phone. Mail him letters, tweet him. Hit him on Twitch, everything. Just
listen, don't threaten me with a good time. I love the viewership, man. They can hate me all day.
That's right. Yeah, you'd be like, you thought this was a bad idea. I'm blowing up. You're taking.
Yeah, right.
That's funny. Chris Marabella, do you think Spidey's coming out in December? You think they'll hold to it?
I actually have a different opinion. I do think it is going to hit December. I think they're worst case scenario, they're going to do what they're doing with Black Widow. They're doing the hybrid release with Black Widow. You have the option to see it in theaters or pay the $30 premiere access on Disney Plus. So I feel like make or break, all the Marvel slate's going to come out this year because they really can't afford to push it again because there's so many moving pieces for each Marvel film. So make or break, I feel like each one of them is either going to be strictly theatrical or do the hybrid model. And the hybrid model, if you think about it, is pretty genius because you get to pay, if you're your family, you get to pay $30 to the whole family to watch the movie. You get to own it. And, you get to huddle around, watch it with friends, family. and you have the option to watch it at home safely or go to a theater and watch it. So I feel like even though Spider-Man is Sony, I feel like they're going to come up with some sort of deal with Disney where if they have to, they'll do the hybrid premiere access and theater model if they need to.
Yeah. Rob, I know the $30 package deal for you as a family man, that's probably way better than taking the kids out to the movie, right?
Listen, my kids don't give a shit about the movies I like. When I took my youngest to go see spoiler alert, guys. I took my youngest to go see Spider-Man, the first home one. I can't think of the title.
Homecoming, yeah.
She cried the whole time. I had to take her out the theater. We like sitting outside the theater. I look like a big kid, puffy and just mad out. She is screaming her head off for some reason. Yeah. My other daughter gets to watch the entire thing. I'm like, wow, what? She's like, oh, I was good. I was good. Just good. Like, what? I had to wait until it came out.
Kick it back, all 3 seats, like spread out.
Yeah, I was, like, they're not like, and I guess because they're girls or whatever. I'm not sure, but they are not into movies the way I am.
Yeah,
not like that. Like once in a while, like my oldest, I've gotten her into Star Wars, but then again, I feel like I'm like, is not the feeling that I got when I first got introduced to Star Wars. I feel like I'm pushing her into it so she can be a part of like Team Rob. But yeah, they don't care about my movies, man.
You gotta admit that is a steal. Like if you are a family and you pay $30, like if you have like 6 kids, you only pay $30 as opposed to how much for parking, how much for snacks, how much for tickets.
Yeah. Right.
You get to watch it at home.
It's definitely a good deal, but I know I'll be sitting there lonely watching Spider-Man for $30 fucking bucks. We're not gonna just walk to the theater and enjoy it.
Yeah, you can try. Maybe they'll do more drive-ins around December too.
Oh yeah. That might be like a good thing to have them go out and do. Man, I like that, Chris. I like that.
Yeah, I know they really only do drive-in spring, summertime, but maybe they'll extend it wintertime.
Yeah.
This is kind of like me jumping not really jumping to conclusions, but trying to think a little bit behind the scenes. I know Disney, with their newfangled way of filming in that like one isolated room.
Yeah.
The web or the bubble. I always forget what it's called.
Yeah, the Mandalorian does it.
Yeah, we touched on it one of the nerd topics before this. The web or the bubble, the sphere. It's something like that.
Oh man, I think it's with a V. The volume.
The volume. Woo! That's right, because we were like pump up the volume.
10 points.
That whole environment is probably as state of the art as it gets. So I already kind of nibbed my question at the bud. Like, I was thinking, are smaller production companies going to start jumping off because streaming is like over the top? And, it can't be easy to launch a successful streaming thing, but it also would be easier than opening up a movie lot, you know what I mean? And having like all kinds of, so in a way, I wonder if we're going to see like talk shows with like streaming. Well, we see like YouTube talk shows blowing up.
Yeah.
Anyway, long and short of it, my question is, do we think that outside of LA, New York, Atlanta, I know is blowing up. Do we think there's going to be new cities popping up with like new types of production companies, or is that going to fade away because people aren't willing to invest in movies? Like, what do you think, Rob?
It would be great. I actually think so. Like, I think it would be great to see other, little studios and stuff popping up, and just having like a different variety since streaming is like really popular. But then again, on the other side of things, when this COVID stuff is kind of clearing up, people are going to be outside more. So it's like a 50-50 thing. I would love to see it happen with other studios opening up.
Yeah. Chris, same question.
Yeah, I think there are going to be more popping up. Especially certain areas are better than others right now with the pandemic and everything going on. So I feel like they might utilize certain areas that are safer to film. Certain places just might be totally free of the virus, and they might travel there to film and build a studio there. So I feel like that is going to expand more as opposed to just doing Atlanta, just doing LA, and just the smaller areas they do.
Right. Yeah, I think you're probably right. I think it's getting cheaper and cheaper to not really the camera equipment is getting cheaper, but it's getting more compact. You can get smaller cameras and gear.
Yeah, right.
You know, like everybody's doing handheld and drones and shit. So I think like a lot of small, I just hope one of them takes it to that level where you just can't tell. And it's like a movie production company, like in Philly, say, like, I don't know that there's one here that like is on that level of like, we're all creators and all of our stuff is great, but I'm wondering about that, like that one that's on like the Netflix level, you know, or like, you know, because I would love that, like for something to happen in Philly that like to the same extent that happened in Atlanta, where they were like, we got a good deal. You guys gave us a good, I don't know if it was like a tax-free situation or something happened with that studio. Christy Informant probably knows the details of that.
Yeah, I remember reading about it. I don't know the full details. So.
Yeah. It was, you know about it, Rob?
No. I was just shocked that Chris didn't.
I know, I was shocked. I didn't do my homework.
That's all right. Welcome to my world.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see. Yeah. Are you guys getting used to series rather than feature length? Like, I'm starting to prefer it. You know, like give me 6 hours of like some Marvel characters. Hell yeah, you know.
It depends on the storytelling and the filmmaker. Like going back to Nolan, I feel like Nolan serves better with films. I don't know if Nolan's stories would be able to work as a show because his films are so like non-linear and they're so sometimes they don't even need dialogue. It's just like pure spectacle and pure action. So it depends on the story. Like with Marvel, I think it's been great so far with the 2 shows they've had of the episodes, but it'll be interesting to see when they go back to Black Widow and all that. If we just go back to seeing those Marvel films right away, or if it's going to be feeling like, oh, Black Widow would have been better as a show.
Right.
But I think it varies from filmmaker to filmmaker and from studio to studio as to what the project is and what the story it is.
I'm gonna walk out of Black Widow and be like, "Damn, that was short." Like,
right. Yeah, 2 hours.
4 hours. Yeah.
It's like 2 Falcon and Winter Soldier episodes.
Yeah. Serious. Rob, what do you think? I mean, I know you already said at home you're in your heaven, but even still, do you prefer watching 6 hours, like 6 episodes, 10 episodes, or do you want a feature length?
I really like Chris's answer because it does depend on like the director and the storyteller. And just like I'm more into the shows, and especially when it's a show that I want to see more of, like Falcon and Winter Soldier. I loved it because of the story building over time and the characters being built over time. And I'm glad that wasn't condensed into 2 hours.
Right.
I'm so glad that they kind of stretched that out and let it breathe. But then again, somebody like Nolan, like Chris said, like he needs the theater. Like that's it. So, but I'm partial to being home, in a robe, scratching my ass, and only thing I don't like is now with streaming is that they're dragging it out every week. I remember when streaming was fairly new. They just dump it all on you.
Yeah.
And now it's like, next Friday.
Netflix still does it. They kind of just drop everything at once. Like even.
Oh yeah, you know what? I think Hulu did it too for something I was watching.
Really?
But then again, like it depends. You know, if I really want to see the whole shit at one time.
Right.
Yeah. What's the worst streaming service? Like, and be careful with your answer. We'll never get endorsed by anybody. You know, but like I'll say this without dropping the name of this one streaming service, because I actually like it. But the feature of, and it might just be because I'm watching it, you know, through Comcast or I don't know, whatever, but it seems to also happen on my PC too. But the rewind situation sucks, man. Like maybe I'm just an amateur or something, but the show, I'll be on episode 4, season 2 of Penny Dreadful, and I'll go on and.
You know what service this is?
Oh, I know. Oh man, yeah.
He's gonna beat that out.
We can redo that segment. Yeah,
that's right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to NerD TopiC. No, like, but it happens on a lot of them too, where it only lets you resume. Yeah. Like it's happened on Disney, it happens on Netflix, and it happens on HBO, and they're the 3 I fuck with. Like, it just you can't. Am I doing it wrong?
No, I mean, I've had similar problems with different services like that too. The only thing I think of is that there's such a larger volume of people using them now as opposed to 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Because I remember when 2020 hit, my whole family, who a lot of them aren't even into films or streaming, they just all like got services and they all started streaming stuff. And so I imagine the volume of that stuff went high, and they couldn't even take the amount of people watching it. So there might be more lagging and more buffering and more issues with that stuff.
Yeah.
I believe that. Like, it's all user based.
Yeah.
But some of those features are shitty too. So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell you what film on what service, but some of those features are shitty too.
Yeah. But Star Wars was yeah. It's always trippy when you see because I think I saw that something's dropping on Netflix, but it was a property. MODOK, the killer robot guy. Who's that's dropping on Netflix.
No, it's coming on Hulu.
Hulu, I think.
Oh, it's coming on Hulu. Even weirder, right? Like that's a Disney property, Crazy.
Well, Disney owns Hulu. Through the Fox. Yeah. When they bought Fox, they were
acquisition, right? Yep.
Yeah.
Chris, the Informant, Marabella.
That's why I'm here. That looks cool. That show looks cool. It's like a stop motion robot chicken Marvel show,
Yeah, it's like a live. It almost looks like a comic book just jumping off the page. Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, a lot of good stuff to look forward to. I love I like a miniseries. I like 3 seasons if you can kill it. Yeah. I think there's a 3-season curse. If you manage to get 3 seasons, do not do a 4th one, because I think like that. You know what I mean? Like,
I feel like Mandalorian is going to tap out at 3 seasons. Like, I don't know if they'll go further than that, but I feel like the story is mostly resolved anyway, and I feel like the finale will be just 1 season.
Yeah. Does anybody think that out of the woodwork there will all of a sudden start to be a reappearance of like C-list actors? Because like there's so many streaming services that like you can't just keep using Anthony Mackie. That motherfucker's been in like 8 movies. You know what I mean? Like, and he's always like a military dude. So it's like, come on, man, you're taking away from the Falcon. But it can't be John Batista again. It can't be, like. I have a theory that I think there's going to be like you're going to start seeing cats from the 90s and the 2000s come back whose career hasn't.
Well, I wouldn't say he's C-list, but we already kind of saw that with Michael Biehn in The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Like I don't remember the last thing I saw him in. I think it's been years.
Yeah.
I think he's done some straight to video stuff and smaller stuff, but that was the first big thing I saw him in at least like 15 years.
Yeah. Straight to 8-track.
Yeah, right. So I think certain actors, like you said, will. For one thing, I think they're cheaper to get. So I think services and stuff will utilize them and utilize nostalgia, and I think we will see more of them. And off the top of my head, I'd like to see people like maybe like Jean-Claude Van Damme on like some big streaming service like show or something like that. That'd be cool. Mm-hmm. I feel like he'd be a little cheaper to get than most big action stars today.
Yeah,
and he could pull off the action too.
Mm-hmm. The services are going to be like, we have money, and they just run to it.
Disney Plus went from 90 million to 100 million viewers in the WandaVision period.
Yeah,
and then forgive me, but one of you guys earlier said something about like family members that weren't really into movies, and you noticed they were getting streaming services that they normally like just avoided, or they weren't. It was you, Chris. Yeah. So like, I'm starting to wonder, like, what is the number that you tap out at? Like, I mean, so I think there are 400 million people in America. Like, can Disney Plus have 400 million viewers, and then it's just every American at home like watching the Falcon and the Winter Soldier? You know what I mean? Like,
I think it depends what they drop on there. Like, if Mandalorian basically was their only new show for a whole year, was able to pull in that many subscribers. Right. What would something like to the level of an Avengers Endgame do on Disney Plus?
Yeah.
Like if
they'll probably shut it down.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always thought like a streaming film will never do as well theatrical, but if you drop the film of that scale on their service, how many more subscribers would it gain? Right. And like how many people would actually watch it?
Oh my God! Could you imagine if they drop the X-Men streaming? They never will. But everybody will buy it. Everybody will get Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah, right.
Wow. other banks will just like, you'll see money like leaving. It'll be the purge, man. Everybody's money, like my bank account. But where did my money go? You know, just I'm already signed up for Disney Plus. Doesn't matter. They got the X-Men.
Yeah, it's like what it's talking about with the hybrid model. Like if they do Spider-Man and all that this year on their service, I imagine something like that would gain a lot of subscribers.
Yeah. Yeah, Spidey's the GOAT in a way. You know?
Yeah, Spider-Man's like the most well-known Marvel hero, I'm pretty sure, in the whole world. So,
and the fact that they're bringing the other Spider, other people from the Spider-Verse into this one.
Yeah,
it's like they already won me. Like when I heard rumblings of those, those Spider-Men, Spider-Guys,
yeah.
Spider people.
Spiderlings.
So when I heard mention of those guys coming back, like I got excited instantly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They're embracing the Spider-Verse.
Yes.
Yep. Who's the redheaded stepchild of the streaming services?
Oh man.
Like which one is just coughing like the little engine that thinks it can, like it just can't get up there with the rest of them? Or,
without trash talking any of them, what I'll say is that I feel like Paramount Plus could do a little bit better job at because they did a relaunch. It used to be CBS All Access.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of their stuff, they have an amazing library. I've gone through it a couple times, but they don't really have anything new that stands out.
Right.
I feel like they needed a flagship show like The Mandalorian or something similar to that.
Yeah.
So I feel like they could do a better job because I think people know about Paramount Plus, but I don't really think a lot of people have the interest to subscribe to it or check it out like Disney Plus, because Disney Plus is all the Marvel stuff, all the Star Wars stuff, and all the other services have these big IPs. And Paramount Plus is sitting on all these different brands and IPs that they own, and they didn't really launch with a new show that they could have really helped them out. I mean, I know they have Star Trek and all, but those shows are already a few years old.
Yeah.
I think they crapped out. I think they crapped out with the new Twilight Zone, because I personally like Twilight Zone, so I thought that would bring the subscribe when it was CBS. I thought it was going to bring people in, and it didn't.
Yeah.
And that kind of sucked for them,
Right, like they have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
They got SpongeBob, Teenage. They got a lot of properties.
They could have done like a Ninja Turtle show or something, or like a live action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle show or something to bring them.
I think we're due for one anyway. Like there's a lot of I've seen a lot of Ninja Turtle things, like a mobile game that just came out, and so I think we're due for a new Ninja Turtle show.
It seemed like at one point Disney was like, okay, we're just going to start making content back to back on our streaming service.
Yeah.
I mean, Netflix was already doing that because Netflix has been around for so long, but Disney was like, all right, we're adapting. We're going to commit. We'll still make our giant movies, but we're going to do, and now it's like every week there's something new. It's out of control.
Yeah. Sometimes it's hard to keep up with all the new stuff that's coming out, but I think Disney is more strategic than everybody else. Because they like, all right, we know when to drop the Star Wars, we know when to drop the and then they have the properties to back them up too.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So I'm down with Chris with Paramount can do better. Like the other services, like Hulu doesn't really. I mean, it doesn't seem like a factor. It almost reminds me of like the console wars from back in the day, like Sega and Nintendo. Like Hulu seems like it's like kind of dead. I mean, they moving up with certain properties they're getting and IPs, but
hey guys,
Disney is like on the top.
Yeah, we're at the 1 minute mark. This is crazy. It's not even 1 minute. It's 30 seconds. Rob Riley, really, Chris Marabella, PDG, Nerd Topic. Love y'all. Let's do a sequel.
Definitely.
Good to see y'all. Rob, stand up. Drop the shirt.
Boom. This is the new Nerd Topic Talk Nerdy Timmy shirt. It's coming soon. By the next episode or something, we should have them out. Coming soon.